So these guys down here are a lot of my breeding plants. When they begin to flower, they get moved to this area so we can monitor them. And I'll just kind of show you a handful of what I think is interesting. I'm not advertising for this coffee company. I just enjoy that it's pumpkin spice season because I'm that girl. So this guy here is kind of interesting. This is a seed-grown ace of spades, and it's just insanely velvet. If you don't know the lineage of ace of spades, it is not a species. It is a hybrid selected from a Hawaiian grower that created it, but the lineage is completely unknown. So anytime you self an ace, they're never gonna look the same, right? So we have, well, every time my ace flowers, she drops everything, and she's been doing that to me for 5 years. So that's your lovely ace of spades. She's starting over. I've actually got 3 that look the same. Anyway, so this is a seed grown from the green ace. Now here's our lovely dark ace of spades, and these are both respective seed grown off of it.
Isn't that gorgeous?
So,
wow, that one's my favorite.
This one's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, it's really dark, quite iridescent, emerges with a whole lot of red. Often if you see a coloring in the sinus and in the geniculum back here, you're gonna see that color pretty strongly through emergent. So it's just like super maroon. So that's really cool. This is Portale. First time I've ever gotten seeds on her. Well, I guess this will be the second time, but Portale is a fun one.
Does Portale tend to be the dominant? Like when it's the mom?
I just got my first batch of seeds on it. Typically with anything that you're breeding, the seed parent is often going to be the dominant, unless you have a very strong genes on it. Like if you use Forgetii, that's very strong. If you use any crystal reds, that's usually pretty strong. That's going to showcase through. Interesting question, quiz, however you want to view it. Who knows where crystal reds originated?
Me? I don't know.
Anthurium crystal reds.
The actual country of origin?
No, how the plant came to be, who the creator was.
I don't know.
Tim Anderson was the first.
Oh, wait, I did know that.
Yeah, I was going to say, when he said it,
I was about to say, how did y'all not know that?
And then the seeds were all distributed to different people, and they've bred them, and now we have like Tazulas, and we have NSE, Silver Chrome, and Dark Block.
Were they all received off of the same batch?
Yep. Now don't quote me on it, but I believe Wonder Boy was the original.
It was.
And then breeding Wonder Boy is where they've continued to have just crazy variations. What?
Wonder Boy was the parent plant, you think?
That was the hybrid that was made from 2 plants, and then Wonder Boys continue to be bred, and that's where the crystal red seeds and lineage continue.
And didn't the original one from Tim, he found it somewhere in South America?
I don't know. I believe it's a hybrid.
Yeah.
There's the lineage of who was crossed is unknown. Because back in the day, nobody used to keep records.
Right.
Literally nobody. And I started breeding in 2017, and I learned from people that didn't tag or keep records, so it's been a shit show now. So I have a lot of who is she those.
Those are my favorite.
And then if you don't know the story of those, we have raccoons and squirrels and gopher tortoises and all kinds of great things that'll eat the fruit, and then we'll find them all over.
That's fun.
So then I pot them up, and they become who is she those. Anyways, moving right along.
My favorites are the ones you find in the tree.
Yeah. So now down here, this is a great hybrid by Silver Chrome. This is Dark Ace of Spades crossed with Silver Chrome's Papillominum. And Bill was very limited with what he would release from this, so I got the ugliest from the batch. And I was like, well, damn, she's pretty cute. I don't even care if she's ugly. This is Black Beauty by Barry Schwartz. Mine is a direct clone of his. Barry doesn't know who it is, but Pap lineage is all that's known. And that's kind of been reiterated over the years with the really strong posterior veins and more of the, posterior lobes, and the vertical venation. His is much bigger. Great story. I'm full of them. All right, and this is a really cool one.
Love them.
And I fully embrace that we can have 50-mile-an-hour winds come through here. So, you know, they're not perfect. But this is what is going by green papillominum. Really fantastic posterior lobe. Super, super, super velvet. And again, that vertical venation. This is somebody else. This is Dolichiostachegagium. Something like that.
Wow.
She catches the wind all the time. But yeah, so this has been a really fantastic one to breed, and as the seed parent, it's really carrying the traits of all of that green with vertical venation.
And it's keeping the larger lobes also?
They're not there yet. I don't ever really have the luck to get things too big. They always sell before, and I try to limit myself to only keep one per batch.
Gotcha.
We last year sold about 60,000 anthuriums, so we produce a lot. And if I kept...
Now you have a greenhouse as well then?
Yes.
Is that where you do all your seeding, or you do it right here?
We do the seeds here. We'll pollinate here, breed here, seeds are in there, and then all the greenhouses are out there. So anyway, so then through here, a handful of crystal reds. I don't know if you guys have ever seen silver chrome. Did you get a silver chrome crystal red from me?
No, I actually got it from this one.
I believe silver chrome crystal red to be much better, in my opinion, the genes on those. Less venation, less of that wide crystal around the veins. I don't know, I just really like it. I like it. Here's our Michelle. This is my clone of Blue Velvet from Barry.
Oh my god, that's gorgeous. Yeah, he gave me a bunch last time I went to visit him.
She's been in that pot. So this is a clone from his. Mine too are clones, but I do use offspring to breed again. But she's been in that same pot since like 2017.
Wow.
She's having a real tough time.
She looks great. So
she fell during the hurricane.
Any other thing except for the time release, or you only use the time?
Just time release.
Is that a 2020 or?
No. I'm not gonna. I don't share it with my partner.
I know. Okay, that's fine.
And then this is an Ace of Purple F2 or 3 from Barry.
Oh, that's one of my dreams.
Unfortunately, I think it's sterile. This is this is pretty. This is a Black Beauty F2 that I kept off of a batch I did X amount of years ago. Yeah, I'm super organized. This is Warwickrianum cross Dark Mag cross Warwickrianum. I kept 2 from that batch. Now this is a batch I did, I don't know. This is Ace of Spades crossed Crystal Red, but back before Crystal Reds were named. And then I don't even have that Crystal Red anymore. She's been sold. Thing. But this is a neat one. I need to name her one day. And then over here is another cutting from that same one that I kept.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
And this one's the sterile on the perlite because you wind up being wetter here in Florida.
Yeah, I mean it rains almost every day here. If it's not raining, irrigation runs 20 minutes a day.
So like you try to you're always wet, so you want a lot more airy.
Yeah, I want to create their environments that they originally come from. And that's a rainforest. Their feet are going to be wet often, even if they're growing epiphytically. It's going to rain every day. So I create pretty airy substrate. It also creates faster roots.
Interesting to know that.
Stronger roots faster. All right, continuing over here.
Look at these ferns right here. Oh, the dark one. Those are really pretty.
Oh yeah, those are elephantoides.
Oh, there you go.
They're available. This is Zara.
I like them.
Delta Force by Marie is in tissue culture. Oh, okay. So this is dark crystallinum. One of my pet peeves is when people sell a crystallinum and just say it's dark because the foliage is dark. Well, that's what crystallinum is. It is dark foliage. Your iridescence iridescent venation is what really determines whether it's dark form or not. You get rid of that iridescence, you get rid of all that iridescence there. You then have what is dark form. Look at dark form Warwickrianum. True dark form is going to have slender veins without all that iridescence. So anyway, so that's dark form crystallinum. Not this. Huge pet peeve of mine. Not just a crystallinum. That's crystallinum. That's not dark form.
So it's more to do with the vein.
That's where dark form comes from. You can't just call something dark.
Is this dark form?
Mm-hmm.
This is the dark form?
It's dark form crystallinum.
And that's irregular.
Correct. And people will call this dark form because it has a dark leaf.
So tropicals drives you absolutely bonkers.
No, it's just that one thing where people will call anything dark form to make a few extra dollars.
Yeah.
And I just think that's just really unfortunate.
Yeah.
This is one that I kept. This is my 2020-2021 batch of Blue Velvet Cross Black Beauty. And so I named her Purple Panther, and I now breed with her. Missed that last flowering cycle. Yeah, that combination of that batch gave me a lot of purple.
What is this rando here?
It's a weed from Colombia that Barry has. And I asked for one years ago, and now it's everywhere. So speaking of dark form, this is dark form forgetti eye.
Yeah.
Not just.
So that is like so I feel better now about this.
So you won't see.
One of them is supposedly a dark. Yeah, now I can confirm.
Here's Leland Miano. I got that from Marie a million years ago. By a million, I mean like 18 or 19. And NSE, both of my NSEs are super, super, super purple.
So when you take a clone off of if you were to clone this or cut this or split this, would you aerial root it first and then make your cut, or
I just cut direct
and go into
soil.
the potting mix that you use?
Yep. I don't do all those extra steps. This is repap. This is another pap that I don't have, a cultivar name and number for. This is a really interesting one. This is Selby Silver Cross Forgetti Eye. Lots and lots of people like to say that Selby Silver is sterile. It is not. I've been getting seeds off of her for a couple of years now, but I will say my largest yield is about 30. So getting Selby Silver to set seeds. But also the Sadix is just so small when it produces.
So how are people producing so much Selby Silver?
Clones. They're clones.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's not an F2, F3, it's a clone.
Yeah.
F2 means cross with itself. So if I cross this with itself, if I take a child from it and cross it, that's an F3. Things like that. So yeah, it's an easy one to propagate. Yeah. So there's so many clones. But when a lot of the Facebook plant groups started popping up in 2019, people were just like, oh, this is sterile, this is sterile, this is sterile. So it doesn't hurt me to keep trying.
Yeah.
Right? So I just keep trying and trying and trying. And after about 10 or 15 tries, I'm like, all right, she's sterile.
Yeah. But worth the shot.
I always done try.
Is there anything that causes the sterility that you see more like what tends to
usually hybrids for future breeding? This is from my repap cross cell. So I think that's a really interesting shape. But the other thing is I always keep the ugliest ones. I always sell the biggest and best.
That's me.
Whoever's ugly and a runt, I'm like, well, I'll keep her.
Which one did you ask about that he said that he's keeping?
That pink one,
the
pink bird's nest one.
Yeah, it's water dragon.
Yeah.
Very good.
You apparently have some of those.
I do.
Culture. It's really
mine came from seed, but yes, I do have some of those.
Water dragon was one of the first anthuriums I got from Silver Chrome 2014, 2015, and I've never gotten seed on it, but also I've always grown them outside and they go dormant every year.
What do you got growing in here?
Oh, I found those in a bucket of soil. This is a really cool Dieffenbachia. I can show it to you out there. So they decided they wanted to grow.
I was like, those are some big old chunks.
I just found them yesterday. Completely covered.
Got all kinds of cool stuff in here.
All right, so here's where things start to get interesting, in my opinion. We went the wrong way, so we're going to circle back this way.
Okay.
So in 2020,
oh, wow.
as soon as we bought the house, my ex-husband started filling that wall up with plants. Sadly, with the dogs running back there, a lot of stuff got broken. One of my lawn guys went back there and hacked things. And then of course winter every year, things struggle. But there's a few different interesting varieties of Monstera, Rhaphidophora.
Loving its life.
Engulfing the wall back there. I have a reverted pink princess that finally decided to go variegated again. A green Micans. And then just a lot of stuff back there that's really, really small. And then my widow's peak, which I breed with, I can show you a picture because, she's not cute anymore. I left her in the ground through winter and she's finally coming back. And I couldn't remember where she was, so I'm really happy she's coming back.
Yeah.
I will dig her up before winter if I'm still here. And she...
How many bedrooms is your house? This house?
5.
Right. Perfect. One
Yeah.
for me.
One was turned into my study. So this is Widow's Peak. It's a batch that I did in 2020 of Dark Forgetty Eye Cross Dark Mag, and she emerges orange.
It's really pretty.
It's really hard
One
to-
of your babies, the
F2s.
yes, and it is stunning and growing like a champ.
Wow, look at this. Oh, he's growing it.
I love it.
So this is a seed grown variegated bird's
I was going to
nest.
ask about that one. Is that from your own seed?
Oh,
Or
watch your foot.
Sorry.
It's not an important plant. Yeah, I got some seeds from Bill several years ago. And 2 came out variegated. Oh no.
Did he get any variegated?
I don't. No, I'm sure he did. He yields hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of seeds on those.
It's a really
size.
cool variegation. A really neat color.
All right, we can go this way.
Oh, that's like
Do you only use the
first time, yes, I got it.
bifin pesticide?
No, I have to use 2 types of pesticide that I'm approved by this county.
Oh, you go through the
Department of Ag. Yeah, I have to. Coursinianum X back there, the oldest recorded hybrid from the 1600s. Over the years,
wow, I
they've
did that.
decided to think that it's
you have one too.
it's Pinidifidum cross varicosum. It was named Coursinianum after the Prince of France at that time.
This one here.
So that's
Yeah.
why it's so finicky.
Yeah. Oldest
Is this
recorded.
a painted lady narrow form?
No, that's orange marmalade.
Marmalade?
This back here is silver chrome crystallinum silver. That one, so you can see the wider.
And you said earlier that was sterile. Is that right? Or
No,
was
not this one. This one's not sterile.
So
Oh,
Selby
so-
silver people thought were
so-
sterile, but I've gotten seeds off of it.
That's right.
What?
cool.
Oh, this is the Diffenbachia that
It's
those
so cool.
Is it Puerto Rican?
nodes are of. It's called like Bollywoo.
Okay.
Oh, we've got a flower on that reticulata. When I get to Hawaii, I'm going to go crazy with breeding alocasias.
That'd be cool.
In 2018, I got a huge batch of seeds off of black velvet back before they were in tissue culture. So that was really fun to grow all those out.
On the allocation,
they-
you remove the spaded like you would on like a.
No, it opens up at the right time. And so I just, same thing with philodendrons. You don't have to remove the staff.
We were just.
'Cause, like I have a bit of them that are blooming this year, and I have a variegated silver dragon that had 2 inflows on it, and I just guess I have to learn the timing a little bit better.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah, I've
tricky
never
part.
been able to do those.
I've only gotten seeds twice on alocasia. That one back there, I don't know who she is. She's cute. It was a seed grown from somebody.
Something.
That is one of my NSE red. She's very, 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 very purple.
Well,
Oh, that big one over there that's green and struggling, that's Waterburyanum. They don't like to dry out, so that's why. Oh, so sorry.
You're good.
Edit that. That's why she has
Sorry.
brown. And then that's Angamarcanum, I believe. Oh no, my pots are tagged because I can't remember that kind of stuff. Okay, then this is Dark Magnificum from Tim Anderson's collection.
that's cool too.
Wow.
That's cool too.
What? Oh, this is the Diffenbachia.
That's almost got like a contortum to it as well.
Yeah, it has a really interesting
Leaf shape. Yeah.
It's got like a really funky flair.
All right, over here, I've been working to put this area kind of back together. A lot of this stuff
You need to
was
get one of
dug up.
those to put in the
A lot
water.
of stuff died.
Uh,
So it's not got
Sure.
a lot of highlights over here. I do have a Warocleanum esmeraldense back there attached. That Monstera zachaquoigensis, and before winter, it was up the tree with leaves this big. But I did cut her down because I knew she wouldn't survive. And then just a few other fun things back there.
What is this guy here?
I will get there. Slow down.
I thought
You've
you passed it.
exceeded
We walked
your
past
question
it.
limit.
I didn't know if we were going back that way. I'm sorry. That was so cool.
Oh, this is alocasia.
Contain
alba.
yourself.
This one's not really in cultivation anymore. Before winter, she was about here.
You said it was Alba.
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 Very, very, very textured leaf.
Agonema.
That's one of my large form mints over there. I shouldn't show that. This gets stolen. That's one of my large form mints.
You've had somebody come on this property and steal from you?
Yep.
Yep. Don't show that. Okay.
Yeah.
Bald. You need a good dog.
It is pretty good.
Did you
I mean, we're open to the
I
public
know. That's what I
for
mean.
events. I mean, there's 150 people here and 3 employees. Unfortunately, we can't
People are shitty.
keep an eye.
You hold events here for plants?
Correct.
Oh, wow. Like botanical events?
Like the nursery's open, so people can shop,
Oh,
people can hang out in the garden.
Like an open house.
Is this
Okay,
Agonema,
actually-
the silver one? Or is that a Dieffenbachia?
I don't know the difference between the two. She's cute.
It was beautiful.
I bought her.
I love how
I think
silver
it's
Glitter.
anemia.
it's beautiful.
I like her. This is an interesting cordyline that
Yeah,
has been manipulated through tissue culture batch after batch after batch after batch, and the creator gave me one of them.
And
So,
what's this in front of it?
a caladium.
That's a caladium?
Yep.
Mhm.
They have some really cool. Oh yeah, there's some really cool caladiums.
Does it start green and go to red or go from red to green? Like, what's going on there?
I don't know.
Oh,
I got her at Lowe's a bunch of years ago.
That's so funky,
I
though.
don't
Like,
pay
that's
attention
unique,
to
like
it.
coming out like that. That's weird.
You ask these wonderful questions as though I have the hours to watch every. And I get questions. How does the leaf emerge? Oh, I don't know. I'm sure it's pretty.
Well, you said you walk every day up and down.
I know,
up and
but
down.
we have. I mean, we go through 100,000 plants a year, so it's
Oh, I know.
hard.
I
to know.
understand.
I wish.
How
it
did I
was.
miss that Moody?
That's not Moody. That's Red
That's-
Beauty.
Red Beauty.
Red Beauty.
Okay, what's the difference between the three? Like, how do you tell them?
Spelling usually.
Yeah.
There's a lot of debate. There's a whole lot of debate. I can show you what I had identified as Moody on them years ago. I don't have Chamberlainii. A lot of people say, a lot of the older, wiser collectors say that you'll really never see true Chamberlainii. But yeah, it's a debate of it being Moody and it being Red Beauty. So
Gotcha.
Silver Chrome is adamant that it's Red Beauty.
I'll ask Bill and see what he says. We're going there Tuesday. Maybe he can tell me the difference.
And he's the one that says, one of the people says you'll never see Chamberlainii. So I'm like, I don't know what it looks like. Longa lobatum.
Really don't know.
That's a really interesting anthurium over there in front of that alocasia. She's struggled since she went into the ground, but she's making a comeback.
Yeah.
She used to be over there, had really big leaves. I moved her over here. She's stressed and giving me small leaves again.
That's one of the seed race possible fathers. And with that little red dot, I wonder if that's the father of it.
This is, what is that? Acana barsavexii. It's a really, really interesting one I found from a guy on the side of the road.
Nice. Those are always the best.
And then in the spring, whenever I was like, okay, we're selling the house, dig everything up, I got rid of all of them but these 2 clumps. And then I just happened to stumble across a guy again. And I was like, oh my God, how much? I don't care, I want it.
Say it's mine. You don't even have to say how much. We'll just...
Oh, this is interesting.
What kind of flower does it do? The color?
Red. I do remember that. So if you didn't know, when you make hybrids, no two seeds will be the same. This is from the same batch as Summer Glory.
Oh, wow.
So Larry Ann distributed a handful of seedlings to various people. So this gets really, really, really long. Super interesting.
What is it? Black Cardinal and
It's
Gloriosum?
Gloriosum cross Macaulay's unknown.
Right. Macaulay's.
Getting knocked over.
Looks like she just wants to like crawl.
There's stuff everywhere.
Spider mite on something in the garden, which really, really, really sucks. A lot of my Mexican species, I used to keep them all in the same clump in that greenhouse behind us, and so they would produce such amazing offspring because all Mexican species are compatible, and you've got such an array of foliage with them. But when I started putting the garden back together, I kind of interdispersed them. I've got a brownie eye over there that has fruit, and a watermelon that has fruit. So I don't know who their daddies are, so I'm eager to grow those.
That sounds fun.
Is this your card?
No. Oh no, she died years ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
That's the it's a really nice,
Yeah,
dark
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
They don't like to grow outside of a greenhouse that's always wet. Well, yeah, but they're cute. So I like to have them on the foot. This is a fun one that came out of Thailand, 1920, something like that. Doesn't hold the coloring, but emerges insanely beautifully. Oh yeah, this anthurium used to be, I think she dropped more leaves.
Oh, nice.
She used to be real cute, and then all the direct sun, she's like, I'm done. But one day she'll be cute again. Who else is interesting?
Now, will you leave that and let it adjust?
Unfortunately, when winter gets here, if I'm still here, everything gets dug up and put into that greenhouse.
Gotcha.
How many greenhouses do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, and then the shade house.
That,
Look how pretty that.
That's Insigne El Condor. That's my ex-husband saw that at the IAS in 18 or 19. I was like, I have to have it, and it's not in cultivation anymore. But just really, really interesting how as it matures, it gets more and more narrow.
yeah. Condor?
Condor, yeah, El Condor after the region in Ecuador. This is something that someone well known in the plant community stole a seed of in Colombia.
It's grapeseed, right?
Oh,
Oh, is that a streak of variegation?
Is this jump seed?
Um,
Or hibiscus?
Not hibiscus.
Right? I think it's
It's a type of copper plant.
copper
plant.
Copper plant.
Copper.
Look at that.
yeah, well, it's
This is a seed
It's a
grown
flower.
by Silver Chrome. This is Clarinervium cross Faustino's giant. I got a bunch of those off that batch back in those wonderful years.
What were you saying about this one?
Oh, someone we know in the community stole some seeds in Colombia. They didn't steal them, they had a permit, and this is one of the seed grown children.
What is that?
They have no idea. But it used to have leaves like this, but in that greenhouse, a big terracotta pot from up above fell on it.
Oh no.
So she's coming back, but she's not pretty. This is a variety of gunnera, which is a prehistoric plant that dinosaurs used to eat. They get really, really massive. This is just one that holds a silvery blue hue.
Does it make a fruit?
It will, but it's the leaves that,
The leaves of it,
yeah, dinosaurs would eat.
like the fruit on the.
I just thought that.
Oh, no. This is a type of angel trumpet. This is a datura. It has the purple ones. And I just put these in a few months ago, and they're growing really, really well. Except they're really prone to spider mite outbreak. And out here I have a lot of flowering plants, and we have a lot of birds, hummingbirds, things like that. So we don't treat the stuff in the walkway.
Do you have any of that fishing up?
Datura?
Yeah.
No, but while you're in Florida, I'm sure you could go to like a regular nursery and find them.
Yeah, they're pretty common.
Yeah.
That little
That's a-
gold leaf sticking out.
My big massive pot of weak thread over there, before winter it was as tall as me and so much wider, and so that's just a cutting off of it, because for months after winter it was just a stump. So the fact that she came back, I was like, yes! Great.
I have a massive one in my room that's taking up most of my room. I'm gonna have to do something. So,
It's a really interesting one. I don't know who. John Weeks was not the creator, but he named it.
yeah, he got it from. I actually asked him last year at IAS because I was like, I have one. He's like, I didn't make it. I just found it, and people just kept saying it's a red philodendron
It's
from
gonna
Rob
strike your
Weeks.
box all types of ways.
Yeah, what is this guy?
Thermonophyllum African Fantasy. Don't quote me on it, but I do believe it's a Larian Garner.
That's gorgeous.
Just like that one over there, that Thermonophyllum. This is a Revolution by Larian Garner here. And Thermonophyllums do really, really well with the winter. I've got a Bruciana back there somewhere. She got buried, but all this stuff just kind of went in at the start of spring. All right, we can take a stroll through here. So these are the things that are for sale. These are some silver chrome crystallinum reds. I highly suggest those. I like Doc Luck too, but
That's a really gorgeous color.
yeah. So these are the Ace Velvet Dark Forgetty Eye. I was very fortunate. We got probably 300 or 400 on that one, and we're pretty much out.
Leaf is amazing.
These are the Green Pap Cross Repap. Some of them came out really, 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 really nicely. They went through some major shock being moved into this greenhouse from the shade house. But like, I'm gonna keep this one for future breeding. I guess you have the camera. All right, moving on.
What is this long one right here again?
This
Oh,
one.
wait, you have things on them.
This is Dark Mag. I crossed it with Deceptions, but I don't think that took. So I just call them open pollinated now.
That's really cool. That really long leaf. Look how long it is.
Do you ever get any variegation off of them?
I do, yeah. Usually about 5 or 6 per batch of seed.
And do they stay?
I don't really care for variegated plants, so after they've got like their 5th variegated leaf, I go ahead and sell them off.
Gotcha.
The only variegated ones I keep are bird's nests. I don't know why. I don't care about
Is
the
that a
others.
cardinal, black cardinal?
Yeah, those are black cardinal
Where do you sell
variegated.
your variegated ones? Is that to
Is this
friends
are
or
these for sale?
No,
Sorry.
they're super reverted. That one you're looking at, it comes and goes. If I cut from it, it comes out. It's a different variegated pattern than you typically see.
That's neat, like a tiger looking shape.
Here's a batch of Selby Silver Cross Repap. So sorry. It was a very small yield, and I've sold off a lot of them already. But they don't look very Selby Silver, but some of them have some really strong pap in them. Super interesting. But Selby Silver is a hybrid of unknown origins.
Yeah.
This- Sometimes when I'm bored, I just like to do basic crosses. So these were Crystallinum cross Dark Forgetty Eye. A lot of them are showing Crystallinum, but some of them are coming out a little darker, a little more interesting, a lot darker, a lot more interesting. This one's very red.
Very veiny too.
What's the
This one's
pampering
a
part of the business?
My phrase is pamper yourself with plants.
Okay.
What is it called? Like a catchphrase?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a Doc Flux at Michelle F2 I'm keeping.
That's really long and narrow.
I had a
looking.
handful that came out really purple, and so I kept the smallest.
So we'll get one that's not nice on that.
Yeah, a lot of
Are
my
these for sale? That's Dark Forgetty Eye?
Yeah.
How much
most
do
of
you
the
want on
things I have a price list QR code. A lot of the Michelle F2s are coming out with used sinuses, but some of the leaves on my Doc Block Michelle come out with used sinuses.
Yeah.
Some do. Some of the leaves do, and some of the
wow,
leaves
that's
don't
so
on the same plant.
glittery.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
so I don't necessarily know if Forgetty Eye's in the mature Doc Blocks, but it is interesting. Sometimes they alternate fused open.
Yeah,
fused
that's cool.
open.
They're very cool.
That's gorgeous.
What is that?
That's
For
a
silver.
Michelle
F2. Now these are silver chrome crystal silver, the one that's like super silver. Well, let's see how that name works. Crossed with Bessier Af. So
Those are
those
gonna be pretty.
have come out interesting. These are some of the green pat cross cell. I've got more in other greenhouses, and you can see how they just like don't have iridescent veins. Ooh, that's a Hoya leaf.
Look at the red around this one. It's really cute. How
Oh,
tiny
that's
that
cute.
is.
This is Varsavexii!
Say it again, because I can never ever.
Varsavexii. So the
That
Polish
was a
botanist
CI? That's that?
Varsavexii.
It's
So
the
W, right?
Yeah.
The Polish botanist Joseph Varsavec discovered it, and so whenever a plant is given a name of the discoverer, you would say the name the way they say it.
Yeah.
So like Billiatier, her name is Billiat, so you'd say it the way she says her name.
What is that? Billiot?
Philodendron Billiatier.
Billiatier.
Billy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Billiatier.
Oh, yeah.
Say this one more time.
Varsavexii.
Varsavexii.
You're the first person that's
pronounced
ever said it out loud to me.
Varsavexii.
I've ever heard.
My first language is German, so it's easy.
flows.
Speaking they Deutsch.
Not as much anymore. Everyone in this country is all about English.
Are you from Germany?
Nope, but that was my first language when I grew up from my grandparents.
It's my father. So.
And then I took it in high school and college, and now I'm like, I know like 10 phrases, and I say them to the dogs.
Aw.
These are Ace Velvet F2s. The Ace Velvet is that like super velvet seed grown green ace, and these are Dark Forgetii cross Michelle. All the ones that had lots and lots and lots of red are pretty much gone. Oh, here's one coming out cute. But yeah, so there's the basic one. This is Eli.
How you like?
Hi.
Hard at work. Doing the important stuff.
So these, that seed grown dark ace of spades, the one that's like more vibrant, comes out red. These are all F2s from it. Some are super interesting, some are not. And then that one, I just struggle to believe that it came from that batch. That's what I've stopped doing is reusing sphagnum, because we take all the seeds out, but then randomly someone would sprout.
Yeah.
So now I take that sphagnum that's used and I go use it for a project around the property.
Very like the green or your repap looks to it, just the way that the texture are versus the other veins. But I mean, they're seedlings, so
Yeah. So I have no idea. These are a very interesting cross I did. I got 9 of them. 2 were sold, 2 were stolen, and these 2 I kept. So this is Dark Forgetii cross Regale.
I bet that's gonna be gorgeous.
And this is 2. Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for anything with dollars.
These are silver chrome red cross Michelle. And it was a really big batch. And at some point I was like, you know what? I should keep some. They're starting to look cute. Great story. Oh, so spent nodes are not a thing. Just so you know. Spent nodes. Have you ever heard the phrase spent node?
Yeah.
That's not a thing. The plant it'll still grow. It'll still push a plant from that node. This plant was spent years ago. And these nodes just keep pushing and pushing. The same node will just keep pushing and pushing. Now, it hasn't pushed out any green in years.
Sarah, though?
It's an albo, small form.
Yeah.
But we cut it in 2020, and it didn't start to grow back until 2020, late 21 or early 22. But every time it's just pushing.
A new apex will
Yeah. So, and I've seen this happen on a lot of plants where the node looks spent, but it's still going to grow. It might take a year or 2 for it to push.
Yep.
So what you're saying is not to give up on my orange marmalade node.
Yeah, I don't give up on anything until it rots.
Yeah, I've literally
So
thrown it
it's wet,
outside and
mushy,
hasn't done
like-
jack to it. It still looks like a good node. It just hasn't done anything.
I'm not seeing all my variegated ones. Maybe they're sold. It's really sad. Stuff does walk off, and it just really sucks. Really sucks.
People
I'm glad I don't open my nursery.
Anyways, moving on. These are some Zara crossed with my Ace of Spades cross Crystal Red.
You don't have a problem putting the time release right on them, like the seedlings. Do you wait for them to pop, or you already putting your
Well,
fertilizer?
we don't start them in the soil, so we get the plant started, and they are already growing in fertilizer. And
You
so-
start them in like your little prop bins already have fertilizer before
Mhm.
they've sprouted.
Yeah.
And you don't notice any problems.
No,
like
too much. If you go right on the base, yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna burn.
I see.
But there's an array of reasons why you might kill the plant.
You can see
And I don't think that the
But the
fertilizer
fertilizer-
they're just like
not-
the little
is always
cutest mushroom.
That's the way genetics work. I mean, also humans. Some humans have great genetics, some very weak health issues, things
Yeah.
like that. Same thing happens with the plants. So sometimes they just die. And that's why I said I always keep the runts. I'm not going to sell a runt to someone because it could
Here you
take
go,
years
Abe.
to get
I've
good.
always felt that.
Oh,
too.
that's gorgeous.